no more. You had other honey. She caught feelings. They will go to any extent. And they can get you in the media and people to go at you. I'm gonna make this nigga lose his shit then, and I'm gonna get some money. They will do it. Now it could have happened. I don't want to seem like we're overly on Antonio Brown's side, but just the timing is crazy, man. Yeah. That's what kills it for me.
And please listen, think about that. That's the timing of all of it.
Yeah,
it has to give you reason just to get speculation and look into it deeper. And that's all we're saying. You ask me my opinion. I don't believe it off this set right now, but unless they prove me otherwise, I'm going to continue to ride with that.
Yeah, definitely. But you're tuned into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast with your brother OGOD and SamAnt. We going in today on this Thursday. If you're enjoying the content and if you're listening on YouTube, Spotify, or Google Play, go ahead and hit the 5-star rating on YouTube. You can go ahead and hit the like button and make sure that you subscribe to this particular channel so you can get all future notifications as we drop content daily. I want to talk about this, SamAnt. Adam 22 actually went on to Dame Dash's show. I don't know the name of it, but Dame Dash pretty much had a conversation with him, and they were talking about the conversation of culture vulture. I thought it was very interesting looking at the clip that I did see on Instagram. So I wanted to bring it forth to the podcast and have a good discussion about this. So I'm going to play a little excerpt from this interview between Adam 22 and Dame Dash. We're going to rap about this.
Let's do it.
So what do you say to people that would call you a culture vulture? And I haven't called you a culture vulture, because to me, I feel like you live the culture. You know, it's not like you're just exploiting it. It's like you're there and you're with these people before they break it. You know, I feel like you enjoy it.
I think it's a fine line between making content about shit that you're into and then just like shamelessly exploiting Black culture, which obviously there's plenty of white people that have done that throughout our my time paying attention to hip hop. And it's like, it's a fine line, and like I don't get mad when I see people say that about me, because the truth is that I probably stepped over the line and done some stupid ass shit and been too comfortable and talking about Black shit on camera. And you know, I'm just trying to be good on camera, trying to like figure out how to talk about shit and everything like that. So I mean, I'm open to the criticism. I don't mind when I see people saying shit like that about me.
Well, what do you do to make sure you're not being a culture vulture, even if it's like unconscious, like you know, because talking about another culture. Like when I'm doing rock and roll, I believe all music is one, but I always be trying to make sure that I'm not disrespecting anybody's heritage or anything unconsciously. Or when you go to another, and I could do that because I'm reckless. I say mad shit, so I'm always very clear. So you do have to be sort of conscious of that no matter what you do. Like if I'm doing something about somebody Jewish, I'm gonna definitely be conscious of their religion and whatever they're doing, regardless of whether I agree with whatever's going on in that. I'm still gonna have that kind of respect, you know, just awareness.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of
what way do you make sure that you know, even though you might not give a fuck because you know you're not, but how do you make sure that the people that you're working with don't feel that way?
I mean,
I see you got Black women around you, and I love that.
Shout out to Laura.
Yeah,
strong Black sister.
She does the work of a couple of women, so you can hear.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's a lot of situations that I'm in, like where, you know, you literally might be interviewing a rapper who's a teenager who is, you know, famous to whatever degree because of his music, is also famous for like a murder charge or like a shooting or whatever. And it's like, how do you, as a white person, this is just things I think about, how do you have a conversation with that person who's 18 years old in a respectful way that is acknowledging that that's something that is exciting for people, that people want to hear about whatever torrid past people have, but then also approach it in a way that, you know, isn't giving the audience fucked up ideas about masculinity or what you need to do to prove yourself. I mean, I'm just saying that these are situations that I'm trying to handle the best I can, but that I'm aware that I probably have failed at in the past. And it's just always a situation where you want to be just considering how you're having those conversations. The drug shit, you know, you interview rappers who like literally are like mostly famous for making catchy songs about doing drugs, but then also you just realize what opiate abuse is for the culture and the horrible effect that it's been having on people in the rap world for a long time and outside the rap world, of course. But I mean, it's just, I'm not going to sit here and act like I've always put my best foot forward. There's definitely been conversations that I looked at later on and I was like, man, that shit was tone deaf. I look like a fucking dickhead, whatever. And it's like, you know, I mean, I think in terms of being like a culture vulture, it's like, I see people in the media that I look at and I'm like, that's a fucking culture vulture shit right there, because I see shit I don't respect. So I can't really like close the door on having a conversation with somebody who says that kind of shit about me, because I think that about shit that other people have done, you know, at times. And so sometimes you got to take the L and you got to monetize yourself taking the L because.
All right, man, we'll stop it right there. To me, before I let you go in, SamAnt, real quick, it's like Dame is trying to defend this dude and he ain't even defending himself. He like, shit, I don't mind, people, coming in and saying, I'm open to the criticism. And Dame Dad's like, oh, you're not. Come on, man. But go ahead, SamAnt.
I got a couple questions. One, Adam 22 said he's seen plenty of culture vultures in hip hop do wild shit that he didn't like. Who?
Yeah, we need to know that.
Who in particular?
And did you do it? But go ahead.
Yeah, Dame, you got to ask those questions, brother. If you're going to have a successful show, got to ask those questions. Come on. Two, he said that, what did he say? He said that he has to draw a fine line when he has these young artists that he knows is popping and hot and on his way, but have situations that he knows is juicy to talk about. This is why I kind of believe, motherfucker, you have no right to talk about certain things because it comes down and boils down to understanding. If that brother was on a podcast or a platform where that person sitting across from him could understand if he potentially asked a question that could be incriminating to this young brother and his success, he's going to leave it alone, but could still have a real conversation that's engaging to the people. You don't give a fuck. You don't care. You just care about getting views for the content, not understanding that if you understood the person across from you, and if he did look like you, or you did understand him, you would get the understanding between what not to ask and what to ask, but you don't, and you don't care enough to. That conversation with Slim 400 was disgusting to me. Now, we found out, and he went on later throughout there and talked about that. These two were friends. So that brother, after coming out of the hospital, getting shot all them times, as a friend came on and gave him that courtesy to go and dig his ass out on this platform. But just the fact that what he did, and he kind of elaborated on why he did it, not thinking, but not understanding. So why would you think? And then the way he went about it on the platform and still showed that. Right. It's just so distasteful. If you really cared and you weren't a culture vulture, some of the shit just doesn't have to go out. I'm sure you're successful. You could hold some of that shit. Our man, one of our dudes, man, our real close dudes, the author, co-author of Culture Vulture, one of the real main authors, because he put his heart in that, man. He really did a damn good job setting that up. He gave us the true definition a couple hours ago of what a culture vulture is. God, I'm going to read it to you, and I want you to get your thoughts. A culture vulture is someone that profits from taking advantage of the mentally and financially dead, quotation, ignorant, within a culture that's not theirs. What do you think about that?
That's, a lot of the people that a lot of these dudes are going to sit down with, including Dame Dash. And it's looking like, his message is getting a little bit convoluted because he's saying things, but he's doing things totally opposite of what he's saying. And I mean that by Dame Dash. Now, again, I have nothing against, these guys, doing their thing and whatnot. But, it's clear what the fucking definition of a culture vulture is. And you're sitting with a fucking culture vulture right there. And you're not only you sitting with what you call a culture vulture, he's even saying like, shit, I might be one. And you're sitting up there saying, no, you ain't no culture vulture. As a matter of fact, when I, go into rock and roll, I, make sure I'm not offending nobody and nobody else's culture. But y'all motherfuckers swipe credit cards on black women's asses and open pour champagne bottles on black women and shit. But when it comes to these other people, you want to be fucking respectful. Can't respect it, SamAnt. I just can't respect it no more. I can't respect the movement. It's just looking weak to me. It just is, bro.
Let me say this. I don't believe all white people are culture vultures. I know white folk that are born and raised in the culture, that were born and raised in these environments and can have conversation. But what I also know and understand is they have understanding to that situation too, because they were brought up in that situation no matter what color they were. Some of these people that just enjoyed Wu-Tang in the 90s and fucking listen to hip hop and Big L and thought that they knew fucking hip hop and they can get on the platform without proper understanding is very divisive. And for someone who coined the term culture vulture and really made it a strong movement, because although I believe, and I give credit to Kenyatta for writing the book, it was Dame and the power that he had and just the charisma that he had that really moved that culture. For him to just be, what the fuck, man?
And it's like, a good conversation. Go check it out and listen to the entirety of the interview. But it's like, you got to remember these guys, and we're going to have Kenyatta Griggs next week on the podcast to get deeper into this conversation so we can hear from the horse's mouth. But they had this movement that they came out about the culture vultures, and they explained, and another aspect of that is about giving back. You know what I mean? So, there could be black culture vultures. We understand that, but I would say the majority of these platforms are culture vultures in hip hop, And these people continue to go to feed them. All the people that talk all the black this and that, they continue to feed these platforms because they so much of attention whores. They're so hungry for views that they shit on their own people, and they'll continue to feed the culture vulture. You keep killing the bodies and throwing them out there for the vultures to get. And they complain about the vultures, but nah, you ain't complaining. You only complaining because you can't eat with them. And once you can eat with them and feast off their plate, you cool. But you see, people use this, man. They use this whole black thing and everything to get in the position. It seems like, oh yeah, this, that. As soon as they find a little way in the door, they abandon everything they ever fucking knew, man. And not saying that's what Dame did 100%, but it's starting to look more and more like that.
I was going to ask you, is that why Dame apologized in the dark, in your opinion?
He apologized, man. It's like, all right, Jay, that's cool. You know, Biggs. Why apologize to the other people you apologize for? If you made a book calling these people culture vultures and said they're detrimental to the culture of hip hop, why in the fuck are you apologizing for it? We never got an answer really truly to that. I don't think genuine. And I would love to hear Kenyatta Griggs, because he was against, because remember the day he apologized, the day after Kenyatta Griggs came out with a video.
That shit pissed me off,
man. He came out with a video. He was hurt. You can see he was visibly hurt.
That shit hurt.
And he also, you know, said, nah, like he didn't agree. That's like me and you. We start a movement, we come out and one of us fucking flips, and one of us got to come out the next day and be like, yo, I don't agree. That's a fucking problem, man.
And the thing that pisses me off, and it just is what it is. It's facts. If, let's say, for example, that was us that with the 500 and we came out and played them and then did the things that we did, it would be a whole different conversation. The energy would be different. It'd be condescending. It'd be fucked up. It'd be thinking we was beefing. But you can have a very strong conversation with this motherfucker who, under your term of definition in your book, is a culture vulture.
Nigga kill us. Niggas try to kill us. Nigga be getting death threats.
That's
if we posted somebody's address after they just got shot and we know some gang related type shit, and we nigga will want to fucking kill us. See, we treat ourselves like shit, man. We treat ourselves like shit, and we you know, wash the feet of the other people, man. I don't like it. And I seen it and I see it, and it's hip hop, and this shit is fake. Shit is fake.
This conversation is not over. We're going to have Kenyatta Griggs next week on the podcast, and I can't wait to talk to him, because I'm not going to show our conversation that we had amongst us, but he's really ready to get some shit off of his chest. You could tell he's pissed off, and I'm not going to put words in his mouth, but you can obviously see real motherfuckers can understand that shit ain't right.
Right.
Period.
Right. And you got to give that platform to people so they're able to vocalize and, you know, and do that. That's what's different about us over here. And yeah, man, that, you know, dope conversation though. You know what I mean? I'm glad they even got into that, because it makes, you know, more talking points, and exposes people, I think, even further when they get into these type of, you know, different subject matter.
It's crazy what you find out when you're an adult, because I can remember even 10 years ago, 15 years ago, looking at Dame and Rockefeller like, damn, you know what I mean? That's the cool dude in high school. And then you realize, nah, that was all for show. It is what it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but you're tuning into the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, the rawest, most unpredictable podcast out there. We need everybody listening to this podcast to do just a few things. If you can, definitely share it. But if you can't, and when you screen's right there in front of you, go ahead and hit that 5-star rating for us, and make sure that you subscribe to the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast. You can get all future notifications, because like you said, we're going to have Kenyatta Griggs on next week, and we're going to be beginning our interviews, you know, bringing on a few other people every week. So stay tuned for that, man. It's going to be powerful.
That's the only fucking thing holding us back from taking over this #1 spot. We see all you motherfuckers lying about who's a #1 podcast here with all your money and your financial backing bullshits to give you these fake manufactured numbers. But we know who the raw